Hi there everybody, and welcome to our third reflections of the week, coming from the manse. And we'll be looking at, or we're hoping to look at 4 questions this week. Let me just run through them again. How did we get here? What's the point of being here? And why are things the way they are here? So in the first of these, we asked the question, is life and everything around us an accident, or is it a creation? If it's a creation, well, what is the point of us being here? What does God want and expect of us? And we looked yesterday at the high calling that human beings are given in the Bible as the priests of creation, to be that intermediary between the natural world and the things that are divine. And we are to represent the whole of creation to God, and in a sense to then be God's representatives, God's workers, co-workers in the world to build and to make something good and wonderful. And then we ended yesterday with a little question mark about us being a flawed species, and indeed that this project had been a failed project, as we can see all around us. And I want to expand on that today, because the question today is, why are things the way they are here? Well, to use that old phrase, Houston, we have a problem. Going back to the astronauts signalling the Earth that there's a problem on the spacecraft. And planet Earth, we have a problem. Something has gone wrong, or something is wrong. So can we get to the root of what this actually is? There is the Christian word sin. And for many people, sin is a word that they're not really happy with. In some cases, it's seen to be out of date, and it's something that relates to judgment and a very negative view of human beings. And yet, when we stop to think about it, can we not identify sin all around us? How about history? Read the history books. What do we see? Look around us, watch the news on the television, or read it in the papers. What do we see? Or closer to home, examine our own hearts. Is there such a thing as sin? I'm sure we will agree that there is. Now, the Christian viewpoint on this can be summed up in one quotation, that the heart of the problem is the problem of the heart. The heart of the problem is the problem of the heart. Something is wrong. And human beings, they know something's wrong because they know things could be different from the way they are. We all know how things could be, and we also know how things should be. Where do we get that from? If there was no problem, if sin didn't exist, if our high calling didn't exist, if this whole enterprise was just an accident, not a creation, well, we would just get on with it. Things are just the way they are. That's it. But we have this sense of broken dreams, failed aspirations. We think, well, there's possibilities, there's choices, there's different paths to take. This path is not a good one, that's a good one, but we're failing to realise possibilities, and so it goes on. We've got this sense of success, but also failure. And because of that, we instinctively realise that there are failed projects, and that perhaps human beings are flawed creatures. And that gets to the heart of the Christian idea, that we are made in the image of God, but there is a problem of sin. And not just that, let's just say that's in the foreground with human beings, a problem with human beings. But the background to the Bible story is a cosmic reality, that this world is not just a playground for wonder and joy and creativity. It's also a battleground between good and evil, between light and darkness. Now, this is the part that many modern people will struggle with, because it seems awful, mythical. And yet this battle between good and evil is all the way through human history. Literature is full of that motif. And then think of the cinema. Think of Star Wars. Think of Lord of the Rings. Now Lucas, who directed and filmed the first few episodes of the Star Wars legacy, he was very conscious of trying to reach young people with a sense of God and the whole idea of good and evil. And that was built into the whole series of films, a struggle between light and darkness. And Tolkien, well, Lord of the Rings, full of Christian motifs, again influenced by the Bible. So throughout history, both in literature and especially in the arts, we have this portrayed that there is a cosmic battle between light and darkness, good and evil. It's not just mythical. It's the background to the human story. And if you don't believe that and you want to remove that, well, you're still left with the problem that something's wrong with our world and there's something wrong with our hearts. And the Christian answer is Jesus. In Luke's Gospel, Jesus said, I have come to seek and to save the lost. Jesus is involved not just in a rescue program, but a restoration program to heal the broken human heart so that we can fulfill the original calling that God, the Creator, has for us. But that's for another day. But there's a Christian answer to that background. That background is there's something wrong with the way things are. Once again, thank you for watching, and we'll look at our final question tomorrow. God be with you.